Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those son busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we chose 70-year-old Peter DeYager of Hull, Iowa. Now, back in August, he was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of theft and trespassing. Why? Because he's doing what's all the rage these days, stealing political yard signs, right? So you say whatever candidate you want to vote for, and someone doesn't like it, so they steal the sign, because that changes your vote. But whatever the case, the local paper, that would be the Dickinson County News, they did a small blurb about his crime and its police blotter, but they still used his name. But Peter was not happy about that because he didn't want anyone in the tiny town to know what he'd done. Basically, they arrested him. It wasn't a big story, but once they put it in the paper, he's like, I don't want people to know I did this. So what did he do? He decided to protect himself. And he was planning to steal every copy of the Dickinson County News that he could find. He went to several different stores and stole every single paper they had. He would go to freestanding newsstands and steal every single newspaper they had. He even went to the vending, the box that they put the newspapers in. He put in however much it costs and steal every single newspaper out of this. The problem is local businesses, they started looking at the security footage, and all these different businesses that are not related were like, man, this is the same dude, right? They don't know who he is. They just looked and said, this is the same guy. So they turned this over to the police. The police were like, oh, we know this guy. That's Peter, who we arrested recently for stealing the political sign. So thanks to his attempt to cover up the first crime, he's now making national news, not just for stealing the signs, but for stealing newspapers and for letting us know the people in Hull, Iowa actually still read newspapers. Anyway, he will be back in court later this month.
It's like I always tell the kids, 2 wrongs do make a right.
Dude, you're 70. Nobody cares.
No.
If you're in police blotter, that means it's probably funny. You are a news article when you've done something bad. You're in police blotter when you've done something stupid. Anyway, we drink to him. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throats a party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Shame on.
Bad Choice Friday is back. We asked you to go and vote. If you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, your choices today, Staying Alive from the Bee Gees and YMCA from the Village People. Mike, how was the vote?
Well, Miles, for a while there, people thought that Bad Choice Friday was dead. But after 68% of people said, no, it is not, is indeed Staying Alive.
Yeah. Nice. Welcome to the weekend, bitches.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man. Dude, no way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Now for all the TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right. Your choices today.
Okay.
Seth Meyers,
Seth Meyers.
Trevor Noah,
Ooh, Trevor Noah.
The Jimmies,
Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That is right. It is right there in the title. All these guys have a team of professional writers that come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke, and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
There's a new study out that says your taste in music might be formed by your parents' height. Babies with shorter parents like faster music, and babies with taller parents like slower music. And this also explains AC/DC and Angus Young.
Ted Smith.
Yeah, that's me.
They are a tiny group of people, man.
About the size of 3 skinless bangers stacked on top of each other.
I met Angus Young and thought, I want me a skinless banger.
I mean, let's be honest, Mom. He looks a bit like a skinless banger.
Kinda.
Yeah. It's like a little sausage been out in the sun too long.
Yeah.
He's a rock god, though.
What a rock on your show.
Starting November, Singapore will offer cruises to nowhere. So they're basically just going to go out, float, and come back. So if you're tired of being cooped up at home, try it in a smaller room that rocks back and forth.
Fallon. Seth Meyers.
Fallon.
Starting in November, Singapore will offer cruises to nowhere. So they're basically just going to go out, float, and come back. So if you're tired of being cooped up at home, try it in a smaller room that rocks back and forth.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's like, was it Australia that was doing the flights to nowhere?
Yeah. You just sat on a plane, right?
Right.
They sold out.
It's the worst part of traveling.
But that's the thing. They sold out. So you can't get mad at them for offering. You can just get mad at the people dumb enough to spend money to do nothing.
I mean, look, there are scenic train rides.
Sure.
That would be something that you could do where you just sit there and you look out the window. And
But that's the point.
Right.
But you're still moving, and there's still a destination.
Yes.
And I can get up when I want and pee.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can get up when you want and pee. Damn it.
Right. Oh, we're landing. Sit down, sir.
But I have to pee.
After a... Sorry. Focus. After a week of online voting, a national park in Alaska yesterday crowned a bear named Black Bear 747, the winner of its annual Fat Bear Week. But if you ask me, any contest where you can eat wherever you want then pass out for 6 months, everybody's a winner. Fallon.
Seth Meyers?
Seth Meyers.
After a week of online voting, a national park in Alaska yesterday crowned a bear named Black Bear 747 the winner of its annual Fat Bear Week. Though, if you ask me, any contest where you can eat whatever you want, then pass out for 6 months, everybody's a winner.
I call that December 26th.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Or Thanksgiving.
3 out of 10 people plan on taking people's temperatures before they come into their homes over the holidays this year. So good to see you, Granddad. Now bend over.
Oh man.
Hey. Trevor, no.
I'm going to go Ted.
That's me.
Damn, dude.
I know it's aggressive. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My grandparents are dead.
Jesus. Good news.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about saying an uncle or an aunt, but then I was like, they're alive. That could be bad.
You just can't visualize it comfortably.
Right. The governor of California has recommended you keep your mask on in between bites of food. So you have to pull the mask down, take a bite, put the mask back on, and chew. Swallow and repeat. Or you could just fill your mask with food and eat like a horse.
Fallon?
Fallon.
Listen to this. I saw that the governor of California has a new recommendation for residents to safely eat at restaurants during the pandemic.
The governor's office tweeted out saying when you're eating out at a restaurant to keep your mask on in between bites of food.
So you have to pull your mask down, you take a bite, then you put your mask back on, you chew, swallow, then repeat. Or you could just fill your mask with food and eat like a horse.
Maybe we'll get there.
It's got the food mask.
Yeah.
If you're going to a restaurant, check out the new food mask.
Yeah, it has separate compartments, like one for the burger, one for the fries.
You can fit all 12 chicken wings in this mask.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Some foods would be hard to eat in a mask.
It'll spin it for you like a rotisserie. Don't worry about the bone.
That'd be good.
That would be. I'd buy that.
I don't know if you guys saw the vice presidential debate, but the highlight for a lot of people was the fly.
The fly that landed on Mike Pence's head.
Correct. For those of you wondering, flies are very attracted to hairspray.
Oh, I did not know that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there was a lot. I know a lot of people were making jokes and stuff, but in all honesty, like if you wear a lot of hairspray, you're gonna get flies. You're gonna get flies.
You're gonna get flies, girl.
The only difference is today people actually know where the fly is.
So people obviously want SNL now to have Jeff Goldblum on because he was the fly in the movie.
Right. That was a weird fly, though.
Right, but they're just saying they want him to be the fly on SNL.
Okay.
I mean, look, he could easily just pop out.
People just want Goldblum. That's really basically what it is.
Sure.
Any woman out there, that's all they want. They just want to see him.
Yeah, well, if you're over 20, he doesn't want to see you.
That's a good point.
Dude, I think his current girl literally is like 21 or 22. And he's like 60.
Yeah. He knows what he likes.
Yeah. I'd hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Speaking of young people and technology, they're not young, but they're using technology.
All right.
Sarah Silverman says her new boyfriend she hooked up with through Call of Duty.
It's probably my son.
Yeah, girl.
I've never met him, but he's... Yeah, baby.
Girl, you know it's true.
Would you slide over my crib as soon as my parents go out? You know.
They go to bed at like 1:30.
That would be crazy.
All your movies are rated R, so I've never seen any of them. But I understand you're a good actress.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to curse. And
I can't tell what I do to you because, one, I don't know. Right. And also, my dad said don't say ass.
Not familiar with how this works, but, yeah, come to my bedroom. That would be crazy.
Can you imagine playing Call of Duty and then you realize you're playing with Sarah Silverman?
That's already cool, right?
You realize that you guys are having pretty funny conversations, obviously getting along, and then she says, hey, why don't I pay for you to fly out and see me and stay here in California for a while? You go, okay.
Well, and I should give you the rest of the story. Because
we're having our fantasy, Ted.
Right. I think it kind of went something like that.
She kind of knew the person already. On the edges.
I'll say I kind of know a lot of people.
I just can't say the word.
What word?
Hold on. Just
peripheral?
Thank you.
Oh.
So she knew.
I thought you meant like legally.
Yeah,
you can't say the word.
No, I just was struggling.
This is not Limbaugh.
Right. Like Miles said. She knew this guy kind of that way.
Okay.
So then they started playing Call of Duty. She said, quote, I put on my headset and I kill Nazis with this guy. Yada, yada, yada. We're boyfriend and girlfriend now.
Typical story.
He
Kill
came out
Nazis.
here. Right. So now he's living out there. It's great. We make sweet love. I feel like I'm jinxing it by talking about it on Ellen, but I can't help myself. And then Ellen said, don't forget I'm mean.
Right. I'll send him home.
Yeah.
If you're not funny.
I want you to have a terrible time.
Our writer sucked.
This is the new Ellen.
Yeah.
Happy.
I'm to be honest with people.
Do you know why there's two L's in Ellen? Because it's just like hell. I don't know why Ellen's tearing down her own image.
It's already there.
Seems like go against her.
Own it. You know what I mean?
Let's see. The NFL has some more positive tests, which is not good. It is kind of weird always to hear the word positive be so negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Like if you have a positive test, in my mind, it should mean your test was negative.
And if you're surprised about a pregnancy.
Right.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
I guess that's another time. I guess I'm just so used to people being like positive vibes only, brah.
Right. Positive Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See?
Yeah.
Coach speak. So the Titans basically they keep getting infected.
That's how that works. Yeah.
The problem is, and I get kind of both sides of this argument. Like they had an outbreak, they weren't supposed to be practicing, but then they got together. It's a high school and had a workout, so more guys got infected. But it's not like they went to a party or something. Like they were they were practicing.
It's not being irresponsible. There's plenty of people that are irresponsible with it. These guys weren't. It's just, but one guy gets it. That's how it goes in close quarters.
And they make sure that they get tested almost every day.
Right.
So you know whether they're positive or not, and they let you know.
So right now, the Titans and the Bills are scheduled for Tuesday. But that only happens if there's no more positive tests this weekend. But then that kind of brings up an interesting thing because the Bills were supposed to play Thursday night against the Chiefs.
Jesus.
So they don't have enough time.
Right, so you'd have to move that. That's all if they play that game.
Fly out one night into the next city.
Right, that's too much.
Well, here's the other big thing. If the Titans keep testing positive and they can't play and you miss the game, not only them, but now the Bills players miss a game check.
Right.
So, look, every athlete wants to win a championship and stuff, but like the NFL football, a lot of these guys have very short careers. Like game checks are a massive deal.
So think about that. You go to work for 6 days out of a 7-day week.
Right.
Maybe they have a half day or a full day. So you work all week. The one day that you don't work because of somebody else's problem,
now it's on you.
You don't get paid. Which
well,
is
not only
because
that,
you'd be going to work every day.
But it wasn't
just
even
the game.
It wasn't even somebody in your office.
No, you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, this is like somebody down in the in the San Francisco office,
right.
And now we're not going to get paid.
Right.
It's like us paying Rush Limbaugh's fines.
Yeah,
hey, we don't have anything to do with it. That's on him.
The other scheduling issue this week, COVID-19 also hit the Pats again. So the Patriots and Denver Broncos will be moved from Sunday to Monday night.
So there'll be 2 Monday night games and theoretically a Tuesday night game.
Correct.
Okay.
And I want to say Herbie and Herb Street and Fowler, who do college games, are going to do one of those games again.
Okay. They must be close to where they're broadcasting on Saturday.
Well, plus in the first week they just did that. They brought up the college guys and had them do the pro game. Granted, I love college football, but personally, I think Fowler and Herbie do a great job. So I think that's super cool.
I realize why they're doing this. I don't mind them staggering these games and still getting them in because it just means there's football on every night.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
They're also talking about maybe extending the season. And either that or the playoffs might be based on win percentage. So see ya, Washington football team, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and
every other
Cowboys.
league has had to modify to some degree to get this thing done.
Absolutely.
So shouldn't be shocking the NFL has to do the same thing.
Yeah, and look, they're trying. I don't know, I don't know what the answer is. And that's the other thing. I mean, look, as much as we know about stuff and this and that, like it's just odd. So those players, who knows if they got infected at practice? It might have just been somebody coughed on a helmet. Someone, you know what I mean? Somebody went into the locker room.
One of the children has a friend that got it. And they go home to their family and I mean,
right. I mean, there's simple ways. Somebody's positive, keep them out of your home. But it's crazy out there. Another COVID story. SNL told Morgan Waller. Is it Waller? Whelan? Waller. All right. I believe he's a country star, so I'm not quite familiar with him. I hope he doesn't sing that song I like.
Which one?
Whiskey Glasses.
I think that's the one he sings.
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
This is the Whiskey Glasses guy?
I think it is, man.
Damn.
I think.
That's like the one country song I know.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I believe that's him.
I keep looking at Mike, and he's like, I grew up in Interqual. Doesn't mean I know country. Yep. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, he was at Tuscaloosa for the A&M Alabama football game, and then there were shots of him doing shots with people, kissing up on some co-heads.
Co-eds?
Co-heads.
Yeah, that's what we call threesome kids.
Morgan Whalen.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to disagree with you and say that I'm happy this happened and Jack White is performing.
Right. So now he's out. I know. It's just funny. It's the one guy. So obviously SNL wasn't mean about it. They were just like, we can't have you in the studio doing this and that.
No, because they're doing everything they can for their 35, 50 employees to pull this off and still be in The Rock.
Yeah.
So if you can't just come in there from Tennessee all like, I've been partying in Tallahassee and Alabama and I'm kissing, like that video, I'm kissing like 4 different women a night. Good for him. This is just not the time that you can do that and then go to New York and expect to be exposed to a bunch of people.
Right. So he said, look, I got to go work on myself, this and that. He has a little bit of he got, in May, he got arrested for public intoxication and disorderly conduct outside of Kid Rock's big ass honka tonk and rock and roll steakhouse in Nashville.
I already like this guy.
Yeah.
Look, but you got to remember, the only person this is hurting is him. Every time those acts appear on SNL, their downloads go up. Sure. People get exposed to their music. They either like it or they don't, but either way, people have heard it. They've seen it. They know.
That's why I like
it.
this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as your problems affect you, you're okay with me.
But Miles brought it up. Jack White is going to step in, so he'll be the musical guest. Bill Burr is hosting Saturday Night Live this week.
Bill Burr.
Right. And then other than that, just a reminder, your Hawks are the Sunday evening game taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. Who they're going to kill, and you already know that.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to the Men's Room.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Jacksonville police capture an emu who was attacking and chasing people on the west side. We head to London, where 2 arrested after 17 children go to the hospital, all very blurry-eyed. Southwest captain gives passenger a shirt when crew says her boobs are hanging out. Thousands cry as plane crashes in Mexico, leaving nothing to put up their snout. And a teen is rescued from a storm drain after calling in to get his cell phone. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story. We go to Canada, where a company attempting to advertise a product on Facebook had their photos censored. What's worse is that the censorship came with a notice that the photo was overly sexual. Given that it was a photo of a basket of onions, you can understand their confusion. They reached out to Facebook and asked what they would if they would overturn the block, which they quickly did, realizing that they that they were large, round, supple, and harmless onions instead of something else. Thing is that if you look at certain photos of onions, they might resemble something else. Honestly, the roundness of them is fairly perfect. They've got a bit of a dark spot there towards the middle that might represent something else.
I hear you. You know, I would just argue, and I've always made this argument, I will trust people over computers every day of the week. One, a computer is precisely as smart as the person who programmed it.
Correct.
No offense, but from what I've seen the last couple of years, I'm not going to trust that. And in the end, any human being would be like, those are onions. Computers like boobs. Wait, no.
Exactly.
No, those are onions.
I mean, that's kind of the problem with AI sometimes. It's like the machine doesn't do good or bad. The machine just does what the machine
does
told
what
to
it
do.
does, and it's a binary code, so there's not a whole lot of anything that goes on there, truth be told. And I get it. You need to experiment with stuff. We want to improve it. It's not a problem with that, but I don't think you want to apply it before you know it works.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at these onions. I'm just not seeing boobs.
Well, you're not. I was.
Just got to find out at the right angle.
I mean, I'm tracking with the AI a bit, but I still recognize their onions.
There's many a young teenager that's buying the Farmer's Almanac and knowing that they've got it all figured out.
That's good enough.
Those Walla Walla sweets are delicious.
They are, man. Mm-hmm. In other news, over in Florida, a teenager needed rescue after attempting to retrieve their phone. The teenager managed to get their phone dropped down a storm drain, and doing what most would do, the teen tried to fish it out before actually going down into the drain, which not many people probably would do. While the teenager did get their phone, they also got stuck in said drain. After about an hour, the teen was found and rescued without injury or incident. After they pulled him out, they tested it for a certain gas that might be down there that would potentially cause a bit of an issue. So...
But he got his phone?
He got the phone. We're all good to go.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That was the goal, right?
We can get back to life. To the lovely world of the internet, this time we'll go to TikTok. Users on the app will frequently tell short stories.
It's called tickety-tockety.
Tickety-tockety. They'll frequently tell short stories of things that they've recently experienced. This time the story came from an employee of a jeweler. She revealed that the customer had bought a piece for his wife for their anniversary and then asked if they could open another account, use a separate card for a piece with a, quote, girlfriend label on it.
Jesus, man.
Not like in the situation, the employee, quote, accidentally switched the bags containing the different jewelry pieces, and the video went viral on the site, and that was met with plenty of support from other women. So, yeah, this guy goes in here, says, hey, 17th anniversary or something like that.
Congratulations.
Right.
Great.
And she bags him up, puts it in its own individual bag. She says, can I help you with anything else? She says, actually, can we open up a different account? And I'll give you this credit card here. And do you have anything labeled girlfriend?
Not creepy.
Not creepy at all.
No. I think she's like, sir, you're an a-hole.
Right, and that's all it was. Just like,
let it out.
Nope, not today. Positive Friday. Not today.
Positive Friday.
I can hear it.
Friday.
As you grit your teeth, you sound so positive.
Positive, dude.
Oh, I'm positive as hell.
Positive. Hooray.
Everything's going to be all right.
Speaking of telling stories, a woman... God, we're almost there. Speaking of telling stories, a woman took to Twitter to tell her experience with Southwest Airlines. The woman was about to board her flight when she was stopped at the gate and told that her attire didn't meet their dress code. The offending piece of clothing, her halter top that showed off too much cleavage. The woman was held off for nearly a half hour before the captain himself loaned her a shirt that she could wear on the flight. Southwest reached out an apology and offered a refund. Ted, do you know what kind of shirt she was wearing?
A halter top.
Boys of Summer.
Oh, yeah, but that was the bad part.
That was the captain shirt.
That was the captain shirt, right.
But I'll tell you what, that guy, did you watch that video?
I didn't watch the video, but I did see her
came out
attire.
and he diffused it. He said, "This is not okay. I
Right.
will take care of this. I know what the protocol is, but look, I'll fix this. Just give me a second."
Exactly.
She's like, "I'm going to miss my flight." He's like, "I'm the captain. We're
You ain't
not
missing
leaving
nothing."
without you. Don't worry about it." Like he was the cool one of the entire group.
I think part of it, too, is like sometimes like she's attractive.
That's why the captain showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that's
It's
why
like-
that got resolved.
Right.
Yeah. She's not the first person to have this problem, but I looked at the picture. I'm like, of course the captain came out. I get it.
Too revealing.
How
you
can I
say.
help you?
Well, let me go settle
Right,
this
it's not like it
issue.
had an F word on it or something. Like,
No, it was just too much boob for them.
Right, it cut like all the way down to the belly button like that, and it split to the side, so there was lots of cleavage. There was under boob there, and that's unacceptable.
Now, if she had gone through the AI scanner, then it'd be like she's smuggling onions.
Walla Walla sweet.
You know what? On that note, that is it for your headlines. With that, go Hawks! Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.